Small towns to big city communities, they rally behind their high school football teams. Under those Friday night lights, the energy on the field and in the stands runs high. It's high impact with a high risk for injuries.
Injury risk in football is very high. I mean, you talk about the top sports with the highest risk of injury. You talk about basketball, soccer, football, and a couple of other team sports. But football is like on top of the list.
And that risk of injury is substantial across youth sports.
Right now, we know from research that ACL injuries and ankle sprains are the top on the list. The joint injuries, very devastating injuries are on top of the list. We also have hamstring strains also on top of the list. So if you put those three together, I think that's a huge, huge problem. I mean, we can talk about the consequences of an ACL injury for the next 30 minutes. Not bad.
Dr. Owoeye is the director of the Translational Sports Injury Prevention Lab at St. Louis University.
All right, just keep it within the small circle.
SLU researchers say structured exercise-based interventions, such as neuromuscular training warm-up programs, can reduce injuries by about 60% across youth team sports, and they are underused by coaches.
The structured exercise warm-up programs actually outperforms traditional warm-up programs. That helps to train kids' muscles and nerves and the brain to communicate better.
He says that most middle and high school coaches don't know enough about injury prevention.
Understanding the sport and doing the right movements, having the right techniques, making sure they avoid the training errors, managing recovery.
He says current warm-up programs do not work to prevent injuries, but neuromuscular training warm-up programs can save an athlete from losing a season, a college scholarship, or from having lifelong problems.
On the best evidence for injury prevention in youth football, having the right warm-up, which we call neuromuscular training exercise, injury prevention warm-ups, before every practice sessions and every game sessions, possibly, to help prevent the injuries in football.
Dr. Oluwatoyosi is the project lead of a clinical trial that enrolled youth football coaches in Missouri. Study results with participating coaches, including high school and club football coaches, show promise. It's called the MAP for Coaches Project. MAP stands for Musculoskeletal Athletic Injury Prevention Online Training Course. The idea is that the study will enhance a coach's understanding of injury prevention to muscles, bones, and joints, as well as a coach's motivation to apply what they learn to warm-ups.
It helps to improve intention to implement the warm-up programs, to replace the traditional warm-up with the structured warm-up programs.
Owoeye says unpublished preliminary data analysis of the impact of this injury prevention training knowledge suggests a trend towards effectiveness. Showing success, the study is scaling up nationally, and it's recruiting youth coaches in 3 other sports that have a high risk for injury, offering sport-specific training programs.
Help us tackle the problem of neuromuscular deficits in young players because they are not well built for the kind of exposure they're having in sports. So we expect them to play at the level of the NFL because people just want people to hit each other and have fun. You know, the audience wants to have fun. You know, but the truth is these kids are still growing. Injury prevention in youth football, essentially, it trains the muscles and the nerves and the brain to communicate efficiently, such that they move in the right way. They improve their local tissue strength to be resilient to impact forces when they play sports. But nobody's talking about making this a policy mandate at the national level. My dream is for it to get to the national level, where it becomes a mandate, a policy mandate by federations and associations. They have a part of their website that says coaches must do this before they get their license renewed every year or every 2 years. They have something for concussion. They don't have anything for musculoskeletal injuries. Meanwhile, the rate of musculoskeletal injuries is 8 times that of concussion.
Coaches who are interested in participating in this research study may visit the MAP for Coaches website, mapforcoaches.net.